Good evening, everyone, doctors and the budding doctors. This is Praveen Gudi. I'm glad to be part of Tadvidya Sambhasha Parishat, and hopefully, I'm the only non-doctor who is in this panel who will be discussing with you today. Just give you a brief why this program and how this particular program is organized. Dr. Saurabh happens to be my college junior, and we have friendship from last 17 years. So now I'm very proud that he is doing a great service in the medical fraternity. Few days back, he just gave me a call and said, "This is what we are planning, and we are conducting online sessions for the people across the nation and a few other nations also." So he said, "Is there any possibility where you can hop in and take some sessions?" Uh, as I'm not a doctor and I'm not part of this medical fraternity, so he said to cover some of the topics which are related to motivation and exam preparation, as many of you are planning to prepare for your university examination and some of you are planning for some competitive exam. So that thought initiated this particular program. So this will be just a change in the process because I have gone through the videos which were posted in your YouTube as well as in the Facebook. What I've seen is a lot of doctors have given you complete details about the technical aspects about your day-to-day studies and work life. What we shall do today is we shall have a different program. Let's have a fresh mind for our upcoming examinations. This session is for those who are willing for who are like looking at their career in a very broader prospect. Let me give you introduction. This is my 10th year in training programs. I'm a soft skills and life skill trainer, also a life coach and a counselor as well. My journey started with being an army officer as a thought since my college days. I even cleared SSB twice and stood 11th rank to Indian Army merit list. Could not clear one of the medical test because of hereditary problem. I was uh, rejected in the selection process. Thereafter, I hopped into some corporate jobs just to try my luck. Eventually, realized that my skills, my abilities, and my knowledge are not meant for those kind of a jobs. And I was in search of one good career which suits me. Then happened to meet Major C.S. Anand. He is my mentor in this training process. So since then, my journey is continued in this training field. In last 10 years, the training field has given me ample of opportunity to introspect myself. What I say is, rather, I have trained people and given them a way. What I see is this training has helped me to look at myself in a better way and understand myself and define my life in a better way. So what I'll be doing is I'll be sharing some of my experiences and some of my knowledges which I have gathered with the help of people whom I have met and books I have read and life experience with you all. So today's session is all about exam preparation. So directly jumping to that aspect, like what mindset I should carry and all those things, I would like to come with a different approach and I would like to reach that aspect at the end. So what I want to convey you in this platform is we are no more kids where people should come and tell us that your examination is up and you should sit and study. In fact, we are all matured, grown up, and we are into, especially the people, those who have chosen this field. I'm using the word we because let me be part of you and let us try to understand the challenges. So five and a half years back, I have trained about 500 doctors of Karnataka government in Bangalore for about 3 months, and I could understand the real pain and real challenges of a doctor in a government setup. So let me be a part of your family at least for next one and a half years. Let me take that privilege to be part of your family, then that will be easy for me to deal with the challenges or the topic what we have decided. See, we are no more kids, as I was mentioning. Here we have taken up a professional course with a lot of thoughts in mind. Now the question is, we in this group of people who are watching this, we have two categories. Number one, those people who know what they are doing, okay, and there is a second category of people, they know why they are doing. So this is what and why. There is a huge difference between what and why. Unfortunately, 80% of the people who take up any career, they go behind this what group. They'll be knowing what they are doing. For example, they have done their schools, they know what they have done, then they have taken up the courses based on the marks. Unfortunately, the career selection for the kids in India, especially, it is based on the marks what they score in their 10th. Okay, then the next influential factor is their parents' opinion. What do their parents tell? Like, what again happened in India is most of the parents, they impose the courses on the kids because they could not do it. And that's a famous dialogue: we could not do it, at least better aap to karo. So the parents influence, marks, then friends opinion matters a lot in this, because at the teenage and adolescence age group, for us the friends opinion matters the most. These are the reasons where people hop into the courses like science, commerce, and arts. Let's take that our marks were good and my friend wanted to be into like engineer or a doctor, so my friend chose to select science as a next career option, like a course option. So I have taken science plus 1 plus 2 PUC, what we call it in Karnataka. So now I know what I'm doing. I'm doing plus 1 and plus 2 science course. Thereafter, again, based on a marks, a CET ranking, common entrance exam ranking, then the next path will emerge out. So for you, it is medical field. Okay. Now again the question. Let us now keep everything aside. Because see, other sessions are different and my session is totally different. Here we are responsible for our own self. We are not here to like give answers to anyone. Now what we shall do is, let us introspect ourselves, sit back and ask a question to ourselves. The course what we are into, okay, was it the ultimate choice of mine, or is it because of the consequences? Like some of us, we did not get a medical seat, that's what I am into, BAMS or like that we need to ask a question. See, end of the day, some of the students, I'll give an example, I'll make this point very clear. When I go to these BCA colleges, I find set of students, they tell that, sir, we are doing this BCA, Bachelor of Computer Application course, because we did not get the seat in engineering college. As this is a computer course, let us, like, at least rather doing some ordinary BSc degree, we thought, like, let us do this Bachelor of Computer Application. Ego satisfaction, what we call it in psychology. So is it because of that we are here, or is it because I always wanted to have my career into this Ayurveda related studies? Now here we can get a clarity. Is it I'm here because of what I'm doing, or why am I doing? If it is what am I doing, so I am doing now this course, and thereafter there will be one more course for you, and finally you will be a doctor on end of the day, and you continue your services. But if at all, as I said, 80% of the people are in the category of what we are doing. Only 20% of the people around us, they are here because they know why they are doing. When we understand the core concept, the core reason why am I here, that will help me to bring in a lot of energy from myself, and the so-called excuses what we generally give, we can encounter those. Let me give you some example. When any task, let's take an example of getting up in the morning and going for jogging, morning walk. It's good for health, everybody knows it. Either it is a yoga, walking, cycling, whatever activities, morning we want to get up and go. If this activity, if I want to do it for myself and I know why am I doing it, then that motivation will automatically pop out. That will help me to get up in the morning. Okay, I will not snooze my alarm, because that concept of snooze is very dangerous in our life. After some time I'll explain you how it will affect my day and how I have to overcome that also. So I will not snooze my alarm, okay, and I get up and I keep going because I know why am I doing it, right? If somebody in the family, for example, I am a student in the college and my mother or my father is bit a disciplined person, and that person insists me to get up in the morning and go for a morning walk or a jog because I should keep a good health. If that is the case, then every day morning at 5 o'clock when the alarm buzzes, I will come out with hundreds of valid reasons. I'm telling you valid reasons. Okay. This why and what, okay, will definitely help us to understand the amount of energy and amount of efforts to be put in. See, we have just started a career or about to start a career as a professional. There's a lot of thing. There is lot of things we need to come across. As long as we are in the college setup, as long as we are so-called students, our life is very comfortable. Uh, Recently, I was in the market with my wife and my son. Me and my son were on the bike, and my wife went to a shop to purchase some items. A boy was crossing the road, and I saw wordings on his t-shirt. A very meaningful and beautiful statement. And the statement was, the actual life starts exactly after your comfort zones. The actual life starts exactly after your comfort zones. It's very true and meaningful word. We generally feel that it's always good to be in the comfort zones. Trust me, my dear doctors, to be doctors, as long as you're into the college, that is not your actual life. Your actual life starts the day you step into your profession. There are a lot of challenges you will come across. I have a lot of friends after those 3 months of training program, almost 5 years back. I regularly interact with them. What happens is, especially for the people in the medical field, challenge is they complete their bachelor degree. They have a lot of motivation, uh, and their scores motivate them. Since childhood, you people are good at your studies. You've always been respected and always been appreciated because of your marks, so-called toppers and rank students. You finish with the good numbers and you get into bachelors. Then the story turns. Okay. Then your 4.5, 5.5 years, the length of your course and the volume of the books what you're supposed to study and understand and remember. Okay. Trust me, if you are into year or second, third year, you will understand this reality. The day one, when I entered this course, the amount of motivation was here, and maybe subsequently it deteriorates over a period of time. And even for some of us, we even encounter this question, did I do a right choice of coming into this profession? Trust me, your life has not yet started. This is just a bachelor course. Thereafter, you will be into your master graduation, like your masters. For that, the limited seats, competition, national level entrance examination. Meantime, there is a pressure of the family because the course is not that simple or short term courses. Every day the challenges are getting more and more, new kind of diseases are coming, and there is a lot of other influential factors which will keep demotivating us by the time we reach our final year of our bachelor course. The day I had a motivation after my 12th, the day after almost my graduation, there is a lot of difference. That's what very few doctors will make it for PG courses. And I have seen a lot of doctors even cracking some civil service exam, the one of the most difficult examination in the country. Again, I will be talking on that after some time. Now the question is, what is that factor making me to lose that motivation? Because this was a course. If let's go with a very positive vibe, that we all here, those who are gathered here, it was our ultimate choice to be a doctor, and this course was our own choice, and we are here. I always wanted to be a doctor. I always wanted to be referred as a doctor, and I always wanted to have that sense of respect received from the society. Yes. Now we create that particular comfort zone around us by the end of their graduation. Then there is a challenge. Breaking out that comfort zone, that fence around us, is very challenging. Why do we prefer being in a comfort zone? Number one, things are known and people are known around us. That's what we create a comfort zone. Number two, why do we create a comfort zone is chal raha hai na, happening. Things are going on. Then why to like do extra? तो चल रहा है, जा रहा है, okay, happening, let it go. And the third thing which will keep us in a comfort zone is life is very safe here, okay. This fence around us, because of these three factors, there are other factors also there. These are the main three factors which will keep us in a comfort zones. Number one, okay, the situation around me is very safe. Number two, things are happening. Number three, okay, it's like it's good, like ho raha hai na. Challenge is coming out of this, right? Unknown thing, the fear of unknown, fear of uncertainty, okay, that will haunt us. Number two, lack of taking risk, okay, because we calculate so many things, and we avoid taking risk. And the best statement I have come across about risk is, the biggest risk in the life is not taking risk. So the third is, we want to be safe, okay, and ho raha hai na, chal raha hai na, why to change, okay. Change is the only constant that we need to understand, okay. Things were not as we were in the childhood, and who else better than you will understand the scenario what is happening around now from last 2-3 months in globally, okay. Though it started in the month of December, but what we are facing from last 2-3 months only we know, okay. December or January, let's take January or February, things were different, okay. March, April, May, things are different. Who knows in the month of June, July, August what is going to happen? If things were normal, if things were very certain, we would never had this kind of a session online on Facebook, okay. All these days we had used Facebook just to chat with our friends, communicate, share our photos and videos, okay. Today we are taking this platform to learn. That's what I'm telling you. Nothing is certain, okay. Every life is completely uncertain. So we need to be prepared for that uncertainty, we need to be prepared for that risk, and we need to be like prepared for like unknown things. We cannot just go with that everything is known. So when we push ourselves for uncertainty, unknown, and risk, then we can come out of that comfort zone. And the day we come out of that comfort zone, our actual life starts. Then the things starts shaping in our life. Why am I giving you this preset, preset? Because my further discussion will make you understand, will help you to understand the whole process. My entire conversation is based on this comfort zones. My entire conversation will be based on this efforts and the mindset. Now I'll start with a story which is a fact and known to many of you. I'll just take a help of a system where I would like to show some photos so that things will be easy for us to understand. I'll just try to use other resource and I'll just give you a glimpse of a image. Let's try to understand. Okay, I think, yes, hope this is clear, and once it is clear, then I'll explain what it is. Now, this is a story about an elephant which has been trained and chained by the Mauta. This was a big question in my mind since my childhood. I used to travel with my family, and wherever I used to see the elephant is being trained and kept with them, they used to tie the elephant with a chain. And since that was a childhood game for us, that is statue. The moment it was chained, it used to stand still like a rock. When we look at the power of that animal, it can deroot the tree, it can crush the vehicles, and in Mysore, almost 700 plus kg Ambari takes it on the back and roams around the city. The majestic and powerful animal, elephant, can do all these things, mighty work, cannot unchain itself. It cannot break the chain. We might have seen this many places. This was a question which always there in my mind. When a powerful animal can do all these things, why can't it cut its own chain? I got this answer almost 10 years back when I was in Shimoga. There's a place in Karnataka. I was there for 2 years. There's a place called as Sakrebail, which is 18 kilometers from Shimoga. There is an elephant training camp. I was there for 2 years, and my hobby is like bike riding, photography, blood donation are my hobbies. So I used to go on bike ride with my camera for photography. I used to visit that Sakrebail very often for photography. I got the answer for this. There was a baby elephant, and it was under the training process. That the team of people who were in the camp, like washed the baby elephant for about 1.5 hour in the river water, and they left it on the ground. The moment the baby elephant come out, the first thing what it did was rolled out in the mud. The moment it is out from the water, turned into brown from pitch black. What they used to do was, like, they used to chain this baby elephant to a pillar or the tree, just to keep it at one place. As it was very young, it wanted to just go around and enjoy its life, but it was chained. It tried all the means, pulled, pushed, dragged everything, to the extent till it got hurt and started bleeding. What happens is, eventually there is a mindset created in that baby elephant. It starts believing that after some years I'll grow big, I can deroot the trees, I can crush the vehicles, I can even take the ambari on my back if at all I get a chance. But what I can't do is, I can't cut this chain. This mindset was being created, and this, in our psychology, we call it as learned helplessness. Let me repeat: learned helplessness. There are two things. Helplessness is different, learned helplessness is totally different. What is helplessness? For example, a person born without eyes, that is helplessness for him for his lifetime. Okay, without limbs he is being born, or she is born, that is helpless. That helplessness is totally different. Okay, the person is born in a very poor family, that person is not having like a bit of money to even have a food, a one time food, that can be to some extent called as helplessness. These are different categories. Learned helplessness is totally different. You know what is learned helplessness? The helplessness created by us, the mindset created by us. For example, I go to a lot of schools and colleges for like training programs and motivating the students. When I especially go to the rural part of the cities, I find a lot of students coming out and they tell that, sir, we are from Kannada medium, we are from regional language, so we cannot speak good English. This is a learner helplessness. We have lot of examples, and I'm definitely sure that a lot of people sitting here in front of the system are from the regional medium, and now you are using your English as like just one which is part of your life. See, this is what I cannot speak English. Okay, I have a stage fear. These kind of helplessness created by us. Right? Now, what happens is, the elephant, since the childhood till it reaches its adulthood, being chained, okay, being chained. And initial days, it used to be tied with a pillar, or it would be tied with a tree. Of late, what happens is, let me show this image once again. Watch it carefully. Here, it is being just hammered in the ground, on the ground. Just 2 3 hammers. It can be easily pulled out by a small kid of age 5 or 6. Because of this strong mindset. Now let me come to the straight point. Elephant, though it is a very powerful animal, one chain is holding it back. Okay, it is known factor for the elephant that this chain cannot be broken by him or her. The question is, for us, similar chains are being tied. Few we know, and unfortunately few we don't know. There are weaknesses, what we call the strength and weaknesses. We in our understanding process, we call it as a SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Before taking up any course, I'm just interlinking. See, let me make you one more point very clear. I speak in the way like I initially put a dot, and eventually we keep connecting. At the end of the session, we will be having some diagram with us. You should have a little patience till the end, so that we will understand what is that I'm trying to convey the message. Now, before taking up any course, how it is impacting and how it will impact in future. Before taking up any course, the first question is it because of my own choice? Is it because of my marks, or was it because of the parents' pressure, or it is because of the opinion of friend? If it is number one, it is because of my choice, then this aspect will come. We should definitely know what are our strengths, and we should know what are our weaknesses, and also we should understand what are our opportunities and what are our threats. Now, see, the chain for this elephant is a weakness. Similarly, we have a lot of our weaknesses. And these weaknesses, if we don't answer them or if we don't encounter them, they turn out to be the big threat for our future. What happens is, mind will create a rigid mindset in days to come, and that will block our process. And that's how we try to be in that particular comfort zone. I have seen a lot of teachers. They write, they complete their TCH and everything, that particular training program they have to undergo to become a teacher, and they apply for the government jobs. Sometimes what happens is because based on the vacancies and all, their call for is delayed. They are okay to be at home for 2 to 3 years waiting for that government opportunity, and some of them, they don't even want to go to that nearby private schools where they can go and teach the students. When it is asked, they tell that no sir, when we go to private schools, they ask us to speak in English. What is wrong in learning a language? English is just a language, it is not a knowledge. Any language cannot be a knowledge. It is just a language. It's a medium with which we converse. That extra effort, one more extra mile. See, because English, for a Kannada medium person, English is unknown. Okay, it is challenging, and there is a fear of failure. If I make a mistake in speaking, people laugh at me. See, when we were kid, we were so fearless. Okay, we were so challenging. Go back to your first day of bicycle riding. My dear friends, you will understand. Nowadays, the kids have got those small cycles, small size. To their size, they have got the cycles. Because we parents are so affordable, we are so caring, over pampering, we get them their size bicycles. For most of us, when we were kids, it were those small size cycle. For our size, the cycles were only available in cycle shops. That too available for rental. We used to beg, borrow, like request parents for that 1 hour bicycle rent. Okay, you must be remembering all those things. For most of us, bicycle riding adventure was taking dad's cycle, that is old Atlas cycle, which is almost double of our height. Okay, go back to that day and remember your challenge, adventure. We went in the field with a bicycle in our hand, which is almost double of our height. That too, like holding one hand to the handle, other to that pump, and putting that leg across. Right? We tried. The first thought when I put my leg, like my foot on that pedal, the first thought in my mind was I'll fall down, and definitely we fell down. We fell down many a times. We fell down. There is one Kannada Mankutimmanakaga which I say it and I'll translate it in English and Hindi immediately. ಎಡವದೆ ಮೈ ಗಾಯವಡೆಯದೆ ಮಗುವಾರು ನಡೆಯ ಕಲತವನು ಮತಿನೀತಿ ಗತಿಯಂತು ತಡವರಿಸಿ ಮುಗ್ಗರಿಸಿ ಬಿದ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆದ್ದು ಮೈ ದಡವಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವರೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. Let me repeat. ಎಡವದೆ ಮೈ ಗಾಯವಡೆಯದೆ ಮಗುವಾರು ನಡೆಯ ಕಲತವನು. You know what D.V. Gundappa, one of the best what I can say is a person who has written the literature which has got so much of knowledge for the life. What he said is, when we were kids we started walking. Okay, the process of walking is full of falling down. Okay, every time we fell down we had some pain, we had some scratches. Never a kid learned walking without falling down. ಎಡವದೆ ಮೈ ಗಾಯವಡೆಯದೆ ಮಗುವಾರು ನಡೆಯ ಕಲಿತವು ಮತಿನೀತಿ ಗತಿಯಂತು ತಡವರಿಸಿ ಮುಗ್ಗರಿಸಿ ಬಿದ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆದ್ದು. How did we fell down? We stumbled. There were a lot of famous sport in our schools, that is that police and thief, kalla police, all those things, chor police ka jo khel tha na yaar, hum log, like, we used to run, we used to fall. Every time we used to fall down, we used to get up, right, jhad lo, then keep going. That's what DVG says. Falling down is not a failure, staying down is a failure. Every time on the bicycle I fell down, I got up and I said myself very loud and clear. This statement was so very loud and clear for myself. That is, see, trust me my dear friends, that was the first unknown motivational quote for my own self. No matter what, okay, I may fall down, okay, I may even break my leg, I may even cut open my head, कुछ भी हो जाए, आज मैं साइकिल चला के रहूंगा. I will ride this bloody bicycle. That moment, that challenge and that motivation kept me, okay, going on and made me to ride bicycle of a size which is double of my double to, like मेरा जो size था उससे double था यार. Such a challenge and adventurous we have done. Okay, and now eventually, that is one example. Number two, how did we learn our mother tongue? Mother tongue is just a common language spoken in the family. We heard a lot of things, we kept hearing, then we imitated. That is the process of learning any language. LIS, listen, imitate and speak. We listen to a lot of words spoken in our family, at our home. Next, we imitated the way they spoke. Third, we started speaking. I have 6-year kid at my home. My son is 6-year-old and he is now speaking Hindi. His Hindi is a mixture of Kannada, English and Hindi. He keeps speaking Hindi. Wherever he goes wrong, he picks up a Kannada word or English word and he makes sure that he'll complete the sentence and he renders what he want to tell. And in that process, we laugh loud. The way he makes a sentence, it is very difficult to even control a laugh. The moment we laugh, he laughs along with us. This is how we learned language. Hope I'm right. See, when we were kid, everybody around us laughed at us. We too laughed at them and just went on. That's how we picked up that language. Now, when we have grown up, okay, when, for example, I'm trying to speak decent English, this is my first attempt and I make some mistake, people in front of me, they laugh at me. This is not a new thing. Since childhood, whenever I have spoken, I have made a mistake, people laughed at me. Correct? Then it was okay, then it was very fun, then it was very joyous. Now It's a question of like respect, question of ego. I'm sorry. So now that mindset of taking it very light, okay, जाने दो यार कुछ भी हो जाए, let me do it. That is gone now. I become so conscious. I become so alert, and I try not to make mistake. How it is possible? And by chance, if I make a mistake, okay, and I some people make a comment on that, then I decide, done. I will never attempt on this. That's what that Mankuti Manaka guy said. Falling down is not a failure, staying down is a failure. If the moment I make it that, if after my mistake, if when somebody makes their remark and I decide I'll not do, most of us, we have done it. In our school days, we stepped onto the stage for the first time. Maybe because of teachers' pressure or some reason we stepped onto the stage. We thought a lot of things to go onto the stage and speak. Last minute, everything we operated and our presentation was flop. Everybody laughed at us. And the moment I was stepping down from the stage, I have took a Bhishma Pratidnya, and I said like, never in my life I will step on the stage. This is where that learned helplessness will come into the picture. I fell down from the bicycle. I got up. I took a commitment that I will ride once again. Okay. I made a sentences. I did it wrong. People laughed at me. I just said, "Chalo, koi baat nahi," and I'll just. Where this mindset has gone now? If we bring back 10% of this mindset, trust me, doctors, any examination in front of you is not going to be a challenge for you. Know why? I have created some of the comfort zones around me, and I am very comfortable. That's what I was giving the example of that particular teacher. I've seen a lot of teachers, they are okay to be at home for 2 to 3 years after their course, waiting for that government job. They don't want to go to the private schools because they ask them to speak in English. Come on. Even I know, like while making the sentences, even my sentences are going here and there, because what you're looking at is Kannada medium government school Neeli Cheddi White Angi product. I have studied 10 years in a government school. It is okay to make mistakes, because end of the day, people in front of you will not sit with a Renin Martin grammar book. They'll not sit and they'll not like evaluate your grammar. What they want is how better you're communicating, how better you're convincing. These are the simple examples I'm picking up from a life where our life was full of challenges, adventurous. We were adventurous kid. Okay. I'll give you one more example to make you understand. Like that is what the potential what we have is more than what we know. Unfortunately, we have underestimated, okay, and underestimating ourselves for the challenge what we are going to face. When we were in our school, especially high school, maybe like 8th grade or ninth grade, the knowledge was very less, the confidence was very high. We even had a thought that I'll go and win the world. Dunya jeet ke aunga. Knowledge was very limited, okay, but the confidence was at peak. The more and more we fed the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is supposed to be power, okay. The more and more courses we have started adding, courses supposed to be knowledge. Now at the final year of a graduation or post graduation, my knowledge is here, and for many of us the confidence has come down. It is not supposed to coming down, it should go up, right? Bring back, my dear doctors, bring back that missing child, okay, that adventurous child which took the challenge of riding the bicycle, which was of double the size. Some of us, we jumped into the well, okay, jumped into the well in the villages to learn swimming. Nowadays kids jump into the water, like especially wells, after their results. During those days, the only way of learning swimming was to jump into the well. The risk, was it not a risk? It was a risk for the life. We did not care about it. That was such a adventurous people we were. What happened to that particular kid? It is my request, it is my request unconditionally, doctors, please stand in front of a mirror, look into yourself and ask this question: what happened to that kid who had promised me to win the world? For that kid, winning the world was an easy task, and for the person right now, is that examination in front of you, maybe that university examination or some competitive examination, is becoming a burden. You know why? Because we have lost in the process of impressing people. The burden is so high, so strong, it has become so like painful for us. I'll show you one more image. Is it not a life is like this? It has become full of mask. A mask at home, mask at college, mask at hospital, mask in front of relatives, a different mask in front of friends. Yes, I understand. Eric Byrne, one of the great psychologists, writes a book, Games People Play. He writes in that book and says that we are social animal, and it is always suggested that we should wear a different mask in front of a different people, different situation, different mask. I cannot be the same person in front of you as I'm in front of my wife or my family or my friend. You know what he writes further in that book is, in this process of wearing mask and impressing other people, we have so much lost into that. We have worn so many masks that we have forgotten our own face. Now it is a high time for us. Let's stand in front of a mirror, look into our eyes and ask a question: what is wrong with me? What has happened to that particular kid who was so adventurous? Right now we have a lot of challenges, we have a lot of expectations, expectation by self, expectation by the family, expectation by the society. Okay, keeping everything in mind, let us sit back today. Okay, as today's session is totally different. What I have seen in your website is like complete technical sessions, and this is something out of the box. It is something like a regular serial is going on and there is advertisement comes in. It is just a refreshing session for you all doctors. Today take some time for yourself, because eventually in future it is very difficult for you to get time for yourself, because you are pledging your life for the society. And that is what this is what is called as a Vaidyo Narayano Harihi. That's what it is called as. You will be uh, compared to the God in days to come, and most of you will be losing your personal life. At least now, as of now, you have your personal life. At least today, as the iron is hot, we need to shape it then and there. आज no आज क्या करेंगे आज like today evening, once the session is over, let us sit back for 10-15 minutes. Let's keep a mobile phone, everything, our family aside, sit for ourselves, and let's put everything on the piece of paper. What I was, what I dreamt, how did I start this course, what was the motivation level. Put a graph, let us put a graph. Okay, what was a motivation, what is right now. Okay, what examination I'm going to face now, what amount of efforts I have to put. Okay, what are the challenges, and why am I doing it. Now everything is aside. Let's separate those things, what I was doing. Now focus it on why am I doing. We need that particular thing. Why am I doing? Said and done. Jo hona tha ho gaya. Done is done now. What to be done matters now. So now we shall sit back and rearrange all the thoughts. Okay, pump up a lot of energy. See, that's what, when we have decided, that zid, right? Hata. This is always said to us that don't be like stubborn. Okay, stubborn in your life. It is a statement by a lot of well wishers and parents. Ziddi mat bano, ziddi mat bano, ziddi mat raho. Trust me, my dear doctors, we need to be ziddi, we need to be that stubborn. For that we need to define that stubbornness. that जो जिद है ना, उसको पहले हम लोग डिफाइन करेंगे. I'll give you some examples. I'll give you some examples of people being that stubborn. Okay, and eventually resulted into their achievement. Because we had that stubborn attitude. That's what we learned bicycle riding. We were stubborn enough. That's what we jumped into well, come out safely, learn swimming. And that zid, trust me, will take you to the dreams and goals what you have uh, had in your life, in your mind from many years. It will help you to reach. If you take out that zid from you, if you separate yourself from that stubbornness, it's not going to help you out. But let us define that stubbornness, that zid. उसको पहले हमको define करना पड़ेगा. Now I'll give you an example of a person. Most of you must be knowing this girl. I think this is clear. Okay, I'll give an example. Civil Services, UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, India's most difficult examination. On an average, about 15 lakh candidates apply every year, and approximately 700 to 800 candidates get selected every year. This is a ratio, 15 lakh, 800. This shows the difficulty level. It's been 94 years. This year they are yet to conduct. Okay, let's take previous 93 years they have conducted UPSC civil service examinations. This UPSC is a board of government, Union Public Service Commission. In last 93 years they are conducting examination, and it will be into 3 phases. Okay, prelims, mains, and interview. Now, why it is referred as the most difficult? Because in last 93 years, in the first set of examination, that is prelims, not even a single question was repeated, and will be never repeating ever again. So, the most difficult examination. Now I'll come to this aspect. Generally, there is a lot of different approaches to deal with this. Few people say that 10 to 15 hours of study is required. Few says it is complete 100% dedicated efforts required for 18-20 hours a day. Few says no, I'll be working and I've spent some 4-5 hours of efforts every day. So like everybody have got their own approaches. There is no standard formula for cracking civil service examination. There are a lot of videos available in YouTube. You can just surf few. Every topper or every person who has cleared UPSC exam has got his or her own approach of dealing with it. Okay, there is no standardization. Why am I giving you this example? Because what the person whom I have showed, let me show it once again. The name of this lady is Pranjal Patil. Okay. At the age of 6, she loses her vision, completes her school, graduation, post-graduation. Then it was a time for her to take up a job. Okay. Now, it was a job like either government job or private job. For both, she had to write an examination. When she had to write an examination, so she thought like, however I'm preparing, so let me take a government job. Again, now she had 2 choices, clerical job and officer job. For both she had to prepare. She decided, however I'm preparing, let me prepare little more and appear for this officer cadre. And she started preparing for UPSC. Year 2016, she writes her UPSC and clears with almost like it is 776 rank. And she gets a IRAS cadre, Indian Railway Account Services. But further, because of her blind category, she said like she was said that you will be given a different department because for account services vision is required. Then she says, thank you so much, I don't need your mercy, let me get what I want by my ability. She rejects the result of 2016. Trust me doctors, it is a dream for millions of students in India to just clear out this examination and get into services. Okay, class 1 officer job. And this girl 2016 Pranjal Patil, she rejected 2016 result, and 2017 once again she appears, clears UPSC with 124th rank, and she becomes India's first blind IAS officer. And if at all you are keenly observing the news and all, 4 5 months back she was in the news and she had taken over as a district commissioner. Now the question is, when a blind girl can achieve to that great heights, clearing UPSC exam, which is referred as India's most difficult examination, what is stopping me and you? Okay. Now, let us relate what we have discussed so far with what she has done. She did not have vision, that is weakness. There was something else she had, that is confidence, strength. There are a lot of opportunities because there are a lot of courses, like we have Rail Lipis, like where she can get knowledge and information with which she can pursue that course. And there are a lot of threats. Threat is like, especially for us, the biggest threat is our own people around us. Most of the time our own family is a big threat. Very few lucky people around us, so we can proudly say that my family supports me, okay, for every adventure I do. The finance is one more constraint for us, okay. The course what you want to take up further, for some of us it is not possible to afford the fees also, or maybe time we might not be having, or maybe you are already married and your family needs your support. Lot of things, these are the threats. So when we are preparing for any of the examination, first thing what we need to do is the SWOT analysis, knowing our strengths, what am I very good at, okay, these are the qualities which are unbeatable, and these are the threats, so that I need to know the chains which are tied around my leg so that I can cut them. So these weaknesses are like a chain, and the strength is like a wing. I can fly high and reach the sky only when if I detach my chain, okay. So we will sit back today, and we'll sit back with a commitment with self that I will put some effort in understanding my strength, my weaknesses, my opportunities, okay, what are my threats, and I'll make a clear cut writings, and I will understand what am I doing, okay, and why am I doing. If I switch from what am I doing to why am I doing, you have your own motivation, and nobody, trust me, nobody can stop you. 8,848 meters, Mount Everest, world's deadliest, one of the highest mountain ranges, could not stop Arunima Sinha to be the conqueror of Mount Everest with one leg. Her zid, her stubborn attitude made her to be the first person on the earth to conquer Mount Everest with one leg. It is known incident for most of you. Year 2011, she was a national volleyball player, and she finished her practice and she was on the way back to home. It was in the local train in the evening time. She was like, the train was with some 4 5 dacoits. They started robbing people. They came to her, and like she had a thin chain, a gold chain around her neck. She was asked to hand over that, and she said no. That's what the quality I like in sports people. They don't give up. They don't give up the defeat. How could she give up that gold chain to them? She said no. What they did was all four of them lifted her, threw out of a running train. Her train was moving in this direction. She was thrown out. Okay, there was other train coming in the other opposite direction. She collided, fell down. Her one leg went on the track and it got cut. For next 7 hours, she was on the railway track, and unfortunately, nobody come to rescue her for 7 hours. What happened in that 7 hours? Initially, excess bleeding. Second and third are the rats on the railway track started snatching the flesh from the wound. She could feel the pain. There was stone around. Okay, she wanted to pick and throw it at, but loss of blood made her made her like energy complete drained out of energy. She wanted to scream out, voice was not coming out. Then finally she was taken to a primary health center. She was on a stretcher, and doctor and nurses were in the discussion. We don't have, in this primary health center, we don't have an anesthesia specialist so that we can proceed with the operation. She could hear this and she said, Sir, don't worry about anesthesia. In last 7 hours 43 trains rolled on my leg. When I can bear the pain of that 43 trains on my leg, I can bear the pain of your operation without anesthesia. This is a definition of guts. But trust me, my dear doctors, guts is something which is not like it is not a fancy statement. No, what is life? When then situation completely go against us, okay, almost it has crushed us, and still there is a vibe in you and that keeps telling you that yes, I will bounce back. What a beautiful statement by Sylvester Stallone in one of the greatest movies, Rocky, where he was talking to his son, a stubborn son, and he says, "It's not how hard you hit. It's not how hard you hit. It is how hard you are being hit and still continue the fight. That's how the champions are made." After the operation, she was supposed to be there in the hospital for 4 months, and a small room of a hospital. There was just a wallpaper on the front wall. There was a big question mark in her life and her parents' life. Her parents said like she's dark, fat, like now she like this is. I'm very sorry for making this kind of a comments, but this was a actual thing happened. Like it is for a parent. Like they had like my girl is bit dark. Like who is going to marry her now? She even don't have a leg. Isko kaun shadi karega? And she had she wanted to be a national volleyball player because somebody said that being a national player you would get a government job. Now she doesn't have a leg, no government job, no volleyball. Now mera kya hoga aage? What is next? Staring at that wallpaper for almost months together, she called up her parents and said like I got my motivation, I got purpose of my life, and I'll conquer that Mount Everest. And that poster was Mount Everest poster. The day she got discharged from the hospital, she directly went to Bachendri Pal, the first lady of India who conquered Mount Everest. She was in wheelchair. Arunima Sinha was on wheelchair. She said, "Madam ji, आपके बारे में बहुत सुना था. I heard a lot about you. मैं ठान के आई हूँ कि मुझे माउंट एवरेस्ट चढ़ना है." Look at her statement. मैं ठान के आई हूँ. I have decided and I have come that I will conquer Mount Everest. मदद कीजिए. Help me out. Looking at Arunima Sinha, where her leg was aunted out, bandages were rolled and bandages had a blood stain on it. And Bachendri Pal said, "Beta, you have already conquered the Mount Everest according to me." People with everything they don't even get a thought of conquering Mount Everest at this situation you are doing. And then her practices started, like preparation started for next 2 years. Year 2013, she reaches a base camp, and this is where her life takes a turn. They had a team of 30 people, and everybody said, "Arunima, this is not for you. Okay, this is not people like you. Mount Everest is not a simple thing. 8,848 meters, most dangerous and deadliest. Though it is very beautiful, but deadliest. About 150, 160 people are dead now already while conquering. So better don't do this." She did not listen. Base camp to first camp, everybody reached in 2-3 hours. She took longer duration. Again, people said, "Don't do this. This is a mistake you're doing." She did not listen. She just kept going on. And it was half journey. Arunima used to be the first person to reach and followed by other people. That's what. When you have a confidence in you, Bhagwan bhi rok nahi sakta. The process continued. It was almost about to reach a peak, about 200-300 meter left. She could even spot the peak flags. She had that thought, that smile started coming out, that okay, biggest dream of my life I'm about to complete. Meantime, the alarm in the oxygen cylinder started buzzing out and saying that oxygen is deteriorating. The helper Sherpa said, "Arunima, वापस जाएंगे, let's go back." And she said, "भैया, यहाँ से वापस जाना बनता ही नहीं है." She said, like, going back from here is no, it is not an option. He says, "Dying here will make you fool. People will not even like respect you what you have done. Don't do this foolishness." And she says, "भैया, अगर मेरे किस्मत में मरना ही लिखा होता, 7 घंटे रेलवे ट्रैक में ही मरी होती. If the death was in my destiny, I would have died on the railway track on those 7 hours." She just like head down, started running towards the peak, reached the peak 1st April 2013, becomes the first person on the earth to conquer Mount Everest with one leg. Now she has conquered almost all the tallest peaks in the world. When 8,848 meters, the gigantic Mount Everest could not reach Arunima Sinha because she had defined her madness, she had defined her zid, she had defined her that stubbornness. When it is again possible because she knew what are her strength, she knew what are her weaknesses, what opportunity and threats. Similarly, when I sit back, okay, and if I start deciding my stubbornness, when I define it, world becomes a very small place, and there will be a day your dreams looks very small for you, and you dare to dream bigger and bigger. Now, before I proceed further, I'll just make one more point very clear here. There are two different things we need to understand. Number one, dreams. Number two, goals. Dream is a different aspect, goal is a different thing. I, being a motivator, I go to a lot of schools and colleges. I motivate people even like to dream big. Okay, dream is something we need to, because it is a tax free. We should That's what Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam says. Dream is something which is not happening at night, it is something which will not let you sleep. Okay, but dream is not one thing which will definitely take you to your achievement. We need to understand dream, okay, is something. Let me give you a clear cut definition between dreams and goals in my way. Okay, a very simple way which I will make you understand difference between dream and goal. Number one, dream is something which is a desire of mind. For example, I want to do it. For example, मुझे घर बनाना है, I want to build a house. Okay, now what I do is I tell it to my friend or my relative or my family that एक दिन में, like in 10 years I'll do it, like एक दिन मुझे घर बनाना है, one day I'll buy the car. Okay, that one day may be a week, 10 days, a month, 6 months. There is no specific time limit. It can be dragged, it can be postponed. Sometimes it cannot be achieved. We have dreamt, not all our dreams, what we have dreamt, we have successfully completed them. Whereas the goal is definitely, no doubt, it is also a desire of a mind, but it comes with a time frame. For example, I am with some of my friends group, okay, and we were standing in some place, and I could not speak a proper English, and my friends make a joke on me, and they tease me like isko baat karna nahi aata hai. And on that day, in front of them, I take a challenge. I tell that, give me 2 months and I'll speak in English. Okay, now this is a desire of a mind is speaking in English, but I put a time frame, 2 months. Okay, 3 years I'll buy a car, 5 months I'll construct a house. Giving a time frame, okay, will differentiate the desire of mind from dream to goal. Now what we need to do is, okay, how to do this. Like, let us first list all the dreams, which competitive exam you want to write, or what is a university examination, what is a rank, what is a score you want to do, whatever you have. It's life is not all about just the course and subjects we take. Life is all about something apart from this. Okay, make the list of your dreams first thing. Now what you should do is, based on these dreams, now start giving the time frames which can be done. For example, I want to construct a house. Can it be done in 1 week? Not possible. It certainly requires some amount of planning, some amount of funds. Okay, all those things is required, and based on what salary or what money I have, what money I get every month, all those things will come into picture. Then I will give it like, in 5 years I'll construct a home, whereas I can buy a car within 1 or 2 years. Right, now I want to learn a new language. Okay, for example, French I want to learn. It can be learned in 6 months. So now dreams, make a list of dreams and start giving the time frames to it, which can be done in a shorter time, which can be done in a moderate amount of time, which can be done in a long term. This is how we can split our dreams into short term goal, mid term goal and long term goals. Right, once these categories are done, you will get to understand what priority you need to put your efforts into. Unless and until I am very clear what am I doing, why am I doing, how am I doing, actions will not come into picture. Otherwise what will happen is, there is a statement, you can find these kind of images in Google. Dream big, okay, set your goal, take actions. Let me repeat, dream big, set your goals, take actions. These images are fine, Dream big. I have dreamt. Okay. But all these dreams cannot be into the action because I don't know prioritizing my dreams. So now, dream, categorize them into short term, mid term, and long term. Then the action will automatically come. Then you will be having that motivation. Then you will find out the time for yourself. See, doctors, you and me, everybody around us, we have 24 hours time frame in our life. So what we have done all these days is we have set our mind for this 24 hours time frame. We have done it. Now what we can do is, instead of 24 hours, we shall do a different approach. We will bring a different approach. This is a different approach. This is, I think it is reverse. 1 is to 23 and 1 is to 22 rule. What is this 1 is to 23 and 1 is to 22 rule? Let me explain you. 1 is to 23. 1 plus 23 is 24. That is number of hours. All these days, 24 hours I have split and I have utilized. For example, 6 hours of sleep, 1 hour of exercise, or like my personal work, 2-3 hours of my personal work, college hours, everything I have done it. So based on that, I have split my 24 hours and I have acted accordingly. Henceforth, what we will do is, instead of considering 24 hours a day, let us consider only 23 hours a day. If at all our clock showed only 23 hours, we would have had our plan accordingly. So we'll do that. 23 hours, okay, is a time for me. Let me chalk out everything for that 23 hours. Remaining 1 hour is for me. Let's be that selfish. That 1 hour I will read, okay, the things, the knowledge which is apart from my subject. Or for example, if you are very particular about your upcoming exams, competitive exams or your university examination, think that you need 3 hours of preparation every day. But what is happening is, like, because of your day-to-day routine, your college, other stuffs, somehow you're not able to consistently put that 3 hours. I have one more graph for you, which I'm showing it in some time. Sometime I'll just show it and I'll explain you how to monitor our efforts. Like, tracking our efforts will help me to understand what way my efforts are going on. Now, what we shall do is, if you think that 3 hours is your time required for your preparation, now what you should do is make your mind in a such a way that your day has got only 21 hours. It is for you, the rule is 3 is to 21 rule. 21 hour is for everybody, for dunya ke liye, for rest of the world. All your activities should be chopped out in that 21 hours, and that 3 hours is for you. No matter what happens, Hari Brahma, like even God comes, I will not spend this 3 hours for anybody, because this 3 hours is my time. Trust me, if we sit back and chalk out properly, we can definitely segregate the things and separate that 3 hours from that 24-hour list, and I can keep. Now I'll explain you this chart. What I'll do is, this is a chart, okay. I'll end of this, I will give my number as well. If somebody needs, I'll send the copy to you in the Facebook Messenger. This line shows number of hours and this shows days. This I call it as effort tracker. How to track our efforts. See, every day, I'll explain this and we will conclude. I know I'm just overshooting the time, but I request you to stay on for some more time. I'll explain this. But we need to understand, we are putting efforts. Sometimes what happens is, like, we don't understand itna karne ke baad, because I'm a counselor, I do counsel a lot of people. What people generally say is that, sir, हमने तो effort डाला था, we have put efforts, but I don't know, like कम पड़ रहा है, like it is not like appropriate, नहीं हो रहा है, and it is not happening. For that we need to understand, am I putting proper efforts, my efforts are in a proper channel or not. For that, this simple tracker will help you, and trust me doctors, it will only take 2 minutes of your day. You know, first thing is that you just draw this graph. Long back in our school, we used to do all these graph things and all. I don't know in your medical studies you do this graph or not, but let's go back to our childhood. Okay, this graph, very simple. This vertical line, you need to indicate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number of hours. I know it is a reversed image. I'm very sorry for this. And here is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. Now what you should do? For 1 week you try. Okay, for one week you try this and you will understand how this graph method is working out. Now what happens is, every day you have your own study time. Think that morning you get up by 5:30 and by 6 you start studying. 6 to 6:30 you have studied. Okay, and you got some work. You just gone for that work, maybe some 30 minutes, come back and started studying. Okay, another 15 minutes you have studied. All this study, what I'm telling you, is productive number of hours. Okay, so 6 to 6:30, 30 minutes. What you should do is, the moment you're going out, like when you're getting up from your studies, just make a small diary, keep a small diary with you, write the day, okay, day 1 or the date or something, and mention 6 to 6:30, that is 30 minutes. Just go for your work, come back and sit, another 15 minutes you have studied. Okay, just mark number of hours I am spending. I'm just marking it. How much time it would take? It would take hardly 10 or 15 seconds to just write between what duration to what duration I've studied. Okay, don't mention what is that subject you have studied. All those things we don't need. Okay, just mention number of hours or number of minutes you have seated and productively you have studied. Like that, throughout days, log you have to maintain. Before you go for a sleep, okay, calculate everything, add all the timing. It may turn out to be 2 hours or 3 hours of productive studies. For example, look at this. Day 1, for example, आज हो गया, like tomorrow I have started, tomorrow I'm starting with a very fresh thing. So day 1 I have studied a total of 2 hours. So what I have done is, day 1, 2 hours I have marked. That's it. Okay, this is the first day graph. 2 hours I have studied. Day 2, okay, I'm more motivated. Generally day 1 or day 2 will be more motivated, so I have gone for one more extra hour. So day 2 is 3 hours. Now day 3, unfortunately something went wrong, or some relatives or some unavoidable situation hopped in. The same thing happened with me. Our session was supposed to be in the morning, like afternoon 1 o'clock. I was into inevitable situation. I could not come at 1 o'clock. So I have requested Dr. Saurabh to reschedule it, and he has given me this timing of 4 o'clock. Maybe something goes wrong according to our plan, and I could not study for 2 or 3 hours. I could only study for 1 hour and a whole day. This is just a simple example. So day 3 is 1 hour. So what I do is, day 4 I have to compensate now. I cannot just let it go. So I sit back and I study more, and I have made it point that I have studied for 4 hours. Day 5 also I have studied for 5 hours. Day 6 I have gone for 5 hours. Day 6 again, day 7 again it has come down in 3 hours. Now complete the graph. These number of hours is like the calculated hours from morning till night. Now after 1 week you will get an average. You will get an average of almost 3 hours. Let's take from 1 hour, from 5 hours. Let's take an average of almost 2.5 hours. This is what an average time I have got it for a week. If my graph, once you keep doing it, if my graph shows a lot of fluctuation, okay, that means I am very inconsistent in putting my efforts. I'm not disciplined in my life. I'm not committed to my work. I always have one or the other reasons. I cannot keep up a promise of that 3:21 ratio of my new rule for my own life, for my better life. If the graph shows a lot of fluctuation, also graph cannot show always an increase in the growth. Okay, at certain stage it has to be a straight line, almost a straight line. Maybe half an hour or something is fine, it is acceptable. Now what we shall do is, we need to understand, we need to avoid this fluctuation. That means that I'll get to know personally. See, when we were kids, we were having a lot of people around us who used to monitor us. Our school teachers, tuition teachers, our parents, relatives used to monitor us and used to guide and make us sit and study, okay, number of hours. Now we are grown up people, okay, and we feel offended when somebody come and tell us that better sit and study. We feel offended when we tell that don't come and teach me, I know everything. Okay, this attitude we always carry, because mind is mature now. We are into that adult, we have crossed that adolescence now. So if it is fluctuation, it is a clear indication that there is inconsistency, and you know what is the result of inconsistency. Inconsistency result will yield always inconsistent result. Consistent result will always yield a consistent results, right? So consistent efforts we need to bring in. That's what I need to understand, whether I have a fluctuation in my efforts. If your graph shows after certain fluctuation, if it remains stagnant, let us take an average of 3 hours. If it is 3 hours, the graph, that means on an average 3 hours every day you are putting efforts. Great. Now sit back, okay, discuss with your seniors, discuss with your faculty, and discuss and you will also be knowing for 3 hours effort, okay, if I can, whether I can clear that entrance exam or not. With the discussion with your seniors or your faculty or people with a lot of knowledge in your field, if they tell no, it is not sufficient, okay, at least another 1 hour of efforts, you have to study more. That, for example, if it is 3 hours, if they tell that you need 4 hours of effort, there is a gap of 1 hour. Now what I should do is, if I continue keep doing the same thing for rest of the days, my efforts will remain short at the end, and I will say that I have put efforts but it was not sufficient. Thode mein reh gaya, sir. Like I missed by 1 marks, I missed by 2 marks. I have like my luck, okay, my luck did not favor me. All those things will come into picture. What we have done all these years, okay, will result me a little short if it is a case. Then according to the people's opinion, if it is required 1 more hour of effort is required, now from where we need to get that 1 more hour? We will not get loan from somebody else. Now again, go back to your daily routine. Earlier it was like 3 hours is to 21-hour lifestyle. Now change some like bring some amendments into your daily routine, okay. Instead of 3 hours and 21 hours, make it 4 hours and 20 hours. Rearrange your entire timetable, okay, rearrange your entire timetable, and you have to bring that 1 extra hour from your daily routine. For that, again, once again, one more, this is your study graph, okay. One more graph we can even do. What, like, it is, see, everybody including me, everybody, we spend a lot of time in front of social media, and we have our own set of like we have our own mode of entertainments. Now we need to understand what is a productive work apart from my studies and apart from my personal work I do. For example, I spend some 2 hours in front of my mobile phone, for an example, 2 hours in a whole day. Maybe it is WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, playing some games, whatever it is, listening to some songs, whatever I do. What I do is, again, I'll put a tracker of my mobile usage or other things apart from my studies. Non-study hours, let me put a graph. Okay. If the graph again shows an increase, non-study hours, that is dangerous. It has to come down. It has to deteriorate. Okay. Now what I should do is, if I get an average of 2 hours, what I'll do is I'll bring 30 minutes from my entertainment schedule, and I borrow that 30 minutes and put it here. So my 3 hours now become 3.5 hours. And I will borrow another 30 minutes from other activities. Okay, maybe I may be sleeping for 7 hours, so I can bring it down to 6.5 hours. And there is no rule, there is no written rule that only these many hours of sleep is required. There are a lot of people who even have a very good life with 5 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep, and you as a medical professional people, you will be knowing better than me. It's again a mindset, right? I can even practice power nap. Okay, I can compensate that drowsiness in the afternoon. Somehow, what I'll do is I'll borrow the time from my 20 hours left, and I have to compensate it here. If I do it, okay, for whom am I doing it? For my own sake. Why am I doing it? Because it was my dream. I've converted that dream into this goal. And what will be the benefit? Who is going to enjoy the benefit? Definitely the one who is putting efforts. And if at all somebody, okay, there is one more thing which I want to tell you. Some of us, we do this because I want to show my parents that I want to do this. Please, yeah, please don't do this. Do it for yourself. Stand in front of a mirror, look into your eyes and tell it to yourself. Because the commitment made to the self, okay, commitment, that is called, anything which is said to ourself is commitment. Anything said to others can be a promise, and promise can be broken. And when it comes to commitment, I cannot cheat myself. I cannot, okay, I cannot lie to myself. I have to stand for myself. And I have a small suggestion for you. You will be busy, I know, but still, I request you. There is one beautiful movie, one of my most favorite movies, Hacksaw Ridge. Let me repeat the name of the movie, Hacksaw Ridge. There is one dialogue. It's about a American war. It's an American war movie. There will be a person who joins defense into medical wing, and at his young age, he takes a oath that he will not touch the weapon. With that, he enters into medical corps. He will be in a situation. I will not reveal the situation. I will not reveal the situation. I request, it's 1.5 hour movie. I request every one of you, please watch that movie. Because in the almost and mid of the movie, there will be a situation where he had to rescue his own people from the attack of the enemy. They're almost half dead. They are grievously injured. He had to get them back. He had promised not to touch the rifle. He's into medical corps. The name of the movie, okay, the name of the movie is Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge. So he is tired. He's the only person on that battleground. Everybody have moved out. It is almost 200 feet high where the battleground is there. He brings every individual who is injured to the ground, and he, from morning he's into that battle. He's tired, thirsty. Every new person he's picking up, he prays a God. God, help me one more. God, help me one more. Trust me, I'm getting goosebumps. When you watch that movie, when you watch that scene, definitely you'll be having that goosebumps, and definitely the tears will roll out. And that is the strongest motivation for us, my dear doctors. That one more, okay, what he prays at God to save the life, okay, that one more extra hour of efforts, that one more extra mile. I understand your life is already messed up, okay, lot of studies, lot of expectations, okay, but still, when you have decided to step into this minefield, you had that thought in your mind, or else have it in your mind, you will be a soldier, a person without that particular uniform with the rank, but you are a different soldier of a God who are there to help the community. What I have done so far, is just keeping the entire discussion. Let me just sum up in next 2 minutes from where I have started, what all I have discussed, and where I am pushing it now. I've started with the comfort zones, okay. Then it is on SWOT analysis. Then some achievers examples, some 2-3 examples I've given. Then finally move to that study graph and how to rearrange the timings. One more thing I missed telling you, my dear friends. Please understand, the professional effectiveness will only come when I am personally effective. Personal effectiveness, if we increase, automatically that will be reflected in our profession. For example, I need to be disciplined in my personal life so that I will be disciplined in my professional work. I need to be very organized in my personal life, then only I can be organized in my professional work, okay. If I am committed in my personal life, definitely I can be committed in my professional life. Take it from me. It is not a like, see, this is very simple rule of life. I can be very professional, I can be very disciplined in my professional work, and I can be indisciplined in my personal life. No, I'll give you a small example. I request you to bear me for a few more minutes, because I don't know when again I may be getting an opportunity to discuss with you. I just want to share some of my experiences with you. See, I said, because I said that alarm snoozing, I said I'll take it later. That's the point here. There is something called as we keep alarm for the next day, and we go for a sleep. You know what? Mind is the master computer. It knows what to be done the next day. It calculates meticulously for the next day. For example, what time to get up, okay, what time to reach college or office. Between that, what all work to be done for each work, what is the duration of time required. Everything is calculated, and that happens in a fraction of a minute, like fraction of a second or a minute. Before you go for a sleep, you just decide, everything is quickly calculated, and you decide, okay, for example, at 9 o'clock I have to start my day. I have to get up at 5 o'clock. This is the calculation, and I keep my alarm, and I go for a sleep. I think I have gone for a sleep, but due to something, I may hold mobile phone in my hand, or sit with a discussion or some other thing. My sleep are disturbed. At 5 o'clock next day morning, alarm start buzzing out. And there is a beautiful feature which unfortunately added into our mobile phone, and that is called as snooze. When we were kids, we had that analog clock, that manual key and all. We did not have any snooze option. It used to buzz once, that's it. Okay, एक बार उसके सर पर, when we hit it on the head, that's done, it's gone now. Now it is not so. So how the eyelids blink involuntarily, similarly, when we sleep, go to sleep a bit late, okay, next day morning alarm start buzzing, our finger directly goes and touches that particular button which will enable that snooze option. That is very involuntarily it happens, and it is for 10 or 15 minutes. We have kept it 10 minutes snooze. So at 5 o'clock we woke up. Okay, it was initially, that wake up call has already done. We woke up at 5 o'clock. Unfortunately, we did not get up. Okay, woke up, did not get up. So it snoozes for 10 minutes, and that 10-minute snooze is so beautiful on the earth. That is like blessing on the earth. That is a heaven. We don't want anything. That 10-minute sleep is like priceless. And one more snooze. Okay, generally one more snooze. 20 minutes. Okay, now I got up at 5:20. Woke up at 5, got up at 5:20. There is a delay of 20 minutes. Okay, this delay of 20 minutes in the early morning, the first stage of our life, we have to compensate at some other stage of the rest of the day. Because I woke up, I did not get up. The concept is, wake up, get up. Why I need that 20 minutes of snooze? Now what will happen? The previous day night, I have made a very meticulous calculation. My mind was that super computer. Either I will miss breakfast, or I will miss ironing my cloth, or I'll miss my bus, or I'll stuck up in the traffic, because previous day night my mind was better than Google Map, and it knew that what time there will be a peak traffic. Everything it had calculated. We did not trust the mind. We just went. Okay, it is a war between mind and body. Okay, we always tell, win the mind, win the mind. The first stage of winning the mind is, the moment it alarms, wake up, get up. The moment it is, you woke up, and immediately if you get up, you won your mind on the first stage. That is the first stage of winning the mind. If we allow the mind to snooze, mind win over the body. It will tell the way it wants, and everything delays. I may not reach the place where I want to reach. 9 o'clock is there might be a meeting, I may reach late, and every time I come out with some reasons. Okay, let's take a challenge. At least some of us, we can dare to take a challenge. Now what we can do is practice it for 1 week. Trust me, doctors, it works. When it works for me, it works for you also. First thing what we need to do is, after this program, okay, go to your mobile alarm, go to that setting, turn off or disable that snooze. Okay, keep the alarm at 5 o'clock. Sometimes हम लोग like we learn the lesson when life kicks us in a very hard way. We'll do one thing. We'll keep alarm at 5 o'clock. We'll go for a sleep. As usual, the mind, like, we thinks that, like, let us snooze. Involuntarily, it goes and press that buzzer, and we think that it will snooze after 10 minutes, and we have already disabled it, and you will or we will wake up after 1 hour. Instead of getting up at 6 o'clock, we get up at like 7 o'clock. Now there is a delay of 1 hour. You will definitely miss one of the important thing in your life on that day, and that will cost you a lot of learning in your life. Otherwise, do it for 4 or 5 days. Sixth day, the moment the alarm buzzes, wake up and get up will happen immediately. Okay, simple thing is required. I don't have to tell you, because you are more knowledgeable than me. What should be done the moment we hear the alarm? When the mind wakes up, immediately get up from the bed, go to the wash basin, splash of water, and you have won your mind in the first stage. Okay, then everything will happen as scheduled in the previous night by your mind. Everything happen accordingly. You will have your breakfast, you will have your workout, you will catch your bus, you will not stuck up in the traffic, you will reach to your office or your clinic, your college on time. Entire day will be scheduled, like executed the way it was scheduled. Right? Wake up, get up. This is where I need to bring that discipline. Like, I am committed to myself. When I have decided to get up at 5 o'clock, if it was like, if at all I wanted to get up 5:30, then why is that alarm at 5 o'clock? Why am I pushing myself into that comfort zone? Because that beauty, that easiness, no. Comfort zones, let us try to break that fence and let us come out of that fence. Yes, I know things are very comfortable, things are very easy, things are known, and things are happening in the comfort zone, but that is not your actual life. Your actual life starts exactly after your comfort zones. That is what a point I started with. Okay, and coming out of the comfort zone, why we don't come out generally? Because of fear of failure, fear of uncertainty, fear of risk. And when we don't do these things, if we are afraid of failure, risk, and uncertainty, we will remain what we are. Does it mean that we will not have our life? Definitely we will have our life. Okay, we may not reach where we have dreamt, and tomorrow we will trouble our own kids. Beta mere se na ho paya, tu to kar. We could not do it, son. At least, daughter, you do it. Let's not do this. Okay, let's be that role model for our own kids. It's always easy to stand in front of a kids and tell that, beta, I could not do it, at least you do it. It's always a courageous thing to tell our own kids that before you become somebody else, try to become like me, because I've done this. When I cannot become a role model to my own kids, how can I become a role model to the world? And world is waiting for the new role models, and I'm looking at some of you already. So comfort zones, we need to break. We need to take a risk, calculated risk. How do we take a risk? We need to have a proper planning. Okay, we need to plan ourselves. We need to know our strength, we need to know our weaknesses, and we need to know our opportunities. Let us sit, make a list of dreams, make a list of our desires, give them a time frame. Itne din mein karunga. That's what deadlines. See, schools and colleges, something we had a due dates. Okay, this is a date, like for so and so date we need to pay the fees, college fees, or else next 10 days with the penalty fees. That is called as due date. Due date can be pushed, deadlines cannot be pushed. That's what in corporate world, all the projects are under deadlines. Aaj ka din hona hai to hona hai. Like, it has to happen means it has to happen. Now, so with all this, let me put a time frame. Let me make efforts. How do I make efforts? You know what to study, what subject. That I am not expert at. Okay, I'm an alien in your field. In fact, what I can relate myself with you is, as a patient I can relate with you, okay, not an expert, but my experience lies something else. And with what experience I have gathered, with the people I have associated, the books I have read, and the experience of life, I have shared you. And now you make a chart, you make a chart after 1 week, after, like, if you are really particular, after 4 weeks you will be having absolute idea about number of hours you are putting efforts, okay. These efforts will decide like your short term, mid term, and long term goals. Kitna effort dalna hai, how much efforts to be put, am I putting those efforts? If I am not putting sufficient efforts, then please, tomorrow after the results, right, let us not blame the situation, let us not blame the examination pattern, let us not blame the politics, okay, nation, society. It's always good to accept our mistakes. That's what, falling down is not a failure, staying down is a failure. So with all these things, what have come to you is, when Mount Everest could not stop Arunima Sinha, how can this university exam will stop one of the beautiful doctors to fly out, come out as a champions? So looking forward to hear it from you. This was my session after 5 years with a medical team. Otherwise, the topic was totally different. We used to have 3 days, 3 full days training program for doctors, in-house doctor, like doctors in one of the resorts, like for 3 days, 30 doctors a team for almost 3 months. I gathered a lot of knowledge from them, the life in the PHCs, government setup, how badly they are suffering in some of the situations. Especially, you people are very good at technical skills, okay? You are very good at dealing with the diseases. But unfortunately, in your set of studies, you don't have something called as people management skills, okay? Tomorrow, when you are into some hospitals, suddenly there is something called as teamwork, reporting, non-cooperation, all those things, and delegation, art of delegation, assigning right work, conflict management. When there is a team, there will be differences of opinion, conflict management, emotion management, stress management, all these things will come into picture. And unfortunately, in none of your syllabuses these things are ever discussed. You are always been discussed with the subject knowledge, subject knowledge, subject knowledge, and suddenly you are put into that actual life where other set of skills are required. So I request each and every one of you, start even working on other set of skills. And in this process, if you need any sort of information or suggestion, you definitely consider me as one of your friends. Rather, I would be glad to consider you all as my friends, because in future, when I tell my own son, right, like, if he tosses a question, Bab, like, Dad, what is that you have done? I can tell that, scroll my mobile contact number, and you will find a lot of doctors. I have gathered a lot of doctors in my mobile phone. So I'll be very glad to be associated with you all. Once again, my name is Praveen Gudi. With the same name, I'm available in Facebook. Praveen Gudi is my Facebook profile name. Praveen V Gudi is my Instagram handle, and my number is 9900001925. Let me repeat: 9900001925. This is my contact number. I would like to definitely hear it from you. At least some of you drop your feedbacks, okay, personally, WhatsApp me, or my profile, you just come and drop. I would like to hear it from you. How was it? And what else was supposed to be covered? Because after a long time, not being a part of a medical family, it is very difficult for me to even directly jump what kind of competitive exams or what kind of subjects you'll be dealing with. This was a purely a motivation and energy booster session for us. So I hope I have stood to the expectation of what Dr. Saurabh has kept on me. Saurav is like my younger brother. We have that close association, 17 years friendship. So now that turned out to be this beautiful. I always believe that God connects right people at right time for right purpose. So once again, I thank you at the outset for your decision of being a doctor and your commitment for your rest of life to serve the community unconditionally. So I pray at Almighty Dhanvantari to bless you with a lot of good health, lot of knowledge, lot of happiness indeed. Because and I also pray at God to give you strength to balance your personal and professional life very properly in future. Because unfortunately, I have seen a lot of doctors have unbalanced that, and though they have earned a lot of name and money, their personal life is somewhere gone for a toss. I request Almighty to bless you with that balance, so that you be a very good human being. I take this opportunity once again to thank Tadvidya Sambhasha Parishat for having me, an alien person, into your family, allowing me to discuss with you. And I have like overshoot the timing. It is almost 1 hour 45 minutes. Thank you so much for your patience. And if at all in any way I have overtook your time and uh, stretched it, I seek apology. Once again, let's all pray for what is happening around, uh, for a well-being of the people around and country. Thank you so much. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Thank you.